Here we go. Check if we're live.
Can y'all hear me?
There we go. Yeah, okay. All right. Hey, everyone,
Can
welcome
you
back
see
to the
me?
DLC. Yes. Oh, no, you're frozen, dude.
Oh, that's a perfect picture there. I'm gonna keep it. Where is that?
That is a perfect
I mean,
picture.
that's perfect. Perfect. Obviously,
know.
there's something more important.
Obviously. Anyways, welcome back to the DLC podcast. We're talking games, movies, all things in between. I'm Isaac. The big frozen guy over there is Juicy. Beneath me is Mr. Whip, also known as Brent, aka the guy that's gonna get destroyed tonight. And Brent,
Ooh, okay.
go ahead and introduce your buddy here.
And to where my pen is pointing that way is the other half
Point
of
it
working.
the other way. Point it the other way. The other way.
Opposite direction.
Oh,
That way.
There you go.
okay.
Oh no!
Well,
now do it at
To
an
me,
angle.
it's kind of
okay.
all over the place. Okay, so the frog face, you'll often see him as a C on my podcast. That's Casey. He's the other half of Whip, and he is joining us tonight because we have decided to not do our podcast in favor of doing yours tonight.
And welcome. Thank you for coming to the first ever almost full collab between Whip and DLC. For everybody watching, this is we've had guests before, but now we've got the whole Whip crew coming. Jacob hates us. It's okay. Apparently, he loves his family more. We'll work on that. And but
obviously, he needs to be put into shackles and be brainwashed again.
No, hey, wishing me much love, Jacob. And but thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for being a part of this.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Well, I think we'll kick it off. Isaac, the cheeky man grinning over here, has a bone to pick with Sony over the last few weeks. What's been going on,
I have
bro?
no bone to pick with Sony, dude. I enjoy Sony. You know, at one point I wanted a PS5. At one point, and I couldn't get one, so I built a PC. You know. And I will say, building a PC has opened, as they say, the third eye. So, you know, I grew up primarily with Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, but Xbox has been my main squeeze as of late, mainly because of the 360. Xbox One, we don't talk about those days. They were not good days. But yeah, no, man, I'm coming in peacefully. Whip's over here being aggressive and whatnot.
What? Oh my god!
Yeah, before the stream, he was just throwing chairs. Like he picked up his backer like
and
really
then
nicely.
He was like, you know, Isaac, you should play the Crash Bandicoot song because it's funny that it used to be Sony's mascot and now Microsoft owns them. I was like, Whip, you really think I should do that? And he was like, yeah, rough salt in the wound. I was like, all right.
I didn't know there was so much animosity from Brent in the Whip favor.
Yeah, man.
Casey's ball pulsates in shame. You need to calm down, sir. Like,
hey, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm just holding in my anger for Brent over here, because I myself, I'm not a Sony person. I have had PlayStation 2, but I am mostly Xbox and PC. So I can't really help on that side of things.
Neutral. I like the PSP, and since that's no longer in like production, like I have no like I play Xbox more because a lot of my friends are on here. The PlayStation is just a solid. I got the Xbox Series X because all my friends are on Xbox, you know, but there's still great games to play on PlayStation. But with them,
Can you not hear him?
PSP.
He's very choppy.
Very choppy,
right? He's very.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, I apologize.
I think it's your internet.
You know. Yeah, it's definitely my internet.
Yeah.
But that being said, everything that's been going on, I think, is pretty interesting. Both consoles have had their fair bit of scrutiny in the last couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, and so yeah, no, dude. So for like. For the longest time I was anti-PC, right? Because I was like, what's the value in spending a couple grand on a machine when I could just spend 500 on a piece of plastic or less on a piece of plastic and play whatever I want, right? And then that's why I was gonna get a PlayStation, because I built my PC. But I was like, you know what? I want to play the Sony exclusives. Well, fortunately for me, they're not as exclusive anymore. So I'm thankful for that. And with Xbox, I mean, yeah, they struggle with first party games and it's a drag. But you know what, GC? Game Pass is really nice.
I kind of have to agree with that.
Got it.
Paying $15 a month to have a whole bunch of games at my fingertips to where I could play something and think, you know what, this game sucks. And there's no buyer's remorse. And
Well, you want to know something? You want to know something? That I pay $10 a month and I get the same exact service on my PlayStation now.
Do you?
Yes.
How many games do you get?
How many games do I get? They launched about 50 to 60 games when they started the premium service.
How's it been since?
Huh?
How has it since?
How's it been since? It's been great. I haven't had any issues with it.
I mean, that's great. I'm happy for you, man.
They got any? Do they usually? Let me ask. Do they usually throw like day one releases on it?
They won't be doing day one releases.
Oh, you know what does though? I think Game Pass does that, don't they?
You want to know what? Game Pass hasn't had any quality day one games since launch. Okay, and here's the thing: next year they might have a lot of AAA titles being launched on Game Pass, but are they going to be any good? That's the question.
That is a good question.
Are those games going to be any good?
Look, that is true. Mm-hmm. that is true. But it was nice playing Guardians of the Galaxy on Game Pass. That was a fun game.
Tell me the last time Xbox released a critical success.
Oh, dude, no, that fell through on Xbox One. That's when they stopped focusing on making their own games. That's why Xbox One failed so badly. It was terrible. 360 though, that was the golden year of Xbox.
Oh yeah, I can agree to that. I love my 360.
When they were bringing out banger after bangers. But see, here's the thing with gaming companies that I'm realizing: you have one good year, you flop the next, and then you bounce back, right? So like you had the 360. I mean the PS3 was the PS3 at the time. Yeah, PS3 outsold the 360, that was fine. I think there's more consumers for Sony anyways. And then you go to PS4 compared to Xbox One. PS4, hands down the best console, even though it sounds like a jet engine. But games were top tier. You know, I mean, I hated my Xbox.
My PlayStation never sounded like a jet engine. I don't know where you're getting that from. The first time that my PlayStation ever started sounding like a jet engine was with The Last of Us Part 2. That was the only time that the game ever sounded like the system ever sounded like a jet engine.
I don't want to be a stickler here, but you said it never sounded like a jet engine, and then came back and said it did sound like a jet engine.
Up until then.
Well, for me, I was playing Bloodborne on it, and it sounded like a
jet. Yeah, I was about to say Bloodborne pushed
it was getting ready. It was getting ready for liftoff.
That's crazy because my day one PlayStation 4 was playing Bloodborne just fine.
There was nothing wrong with the play. It's just you would hear it like, oh god. Like I always assumed it just had extra fans. Like, oh, did no one ever think about this? Like, I'm not saying it did anything wrong. It wasn't choppy. No. It wasn't chugging. I just heard it, like, just audibly heard it through a headset. I was like, what the? And I was like, extra fans?
No.
Smartest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can like I actually really like the fact that PlayStation has their own service that's similar to Xbox Game Pass. I mean, it is what it is. It's PlayStation did try with the PS Now and that flopped. So coming back onto it is really awesome. What games are you playing on that service right now?
I was playing Stray for a little while, but I haven't really gotten into it that much. I've been playing, I've been playing Cyberpunk lately.
Is that on that service?
No, I've owned that.
No, and so I'm for things that are specifically on that service. What have you been playing from it?
Stray.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that good? It looks
Yeah, it's
like a
pretty
good
cool.
game.
It looks good.
Yeah.
It's a good indie game.
It's actually a pretty nice game. Yeah.
We're talking about like pretty much our preferences and how it's playing and stuff. I feel like we should get into the things that have been happening over the last few weeks.
Oh yeah, of course.
So here's the
Yeah.
thing. I should clarify something. I don't have a preference. It might sound like I have a preference towards Sony, but I go where the good games are at.
Mhm.
I go where the good games are at, and right now the good games are on Sony. Okay, I have not seen anything worth my time, worth playing on Xbox. I want that to change, though. I really do. Like, there's this misconception surrounding me that I'm just this hardcore Sony fanboy that Isaac seems to think that I am. No, I go where the good games are, and Xbox hasn't had any good games. I canceled my Game Pass a week ago because I hadn't used it in months because there was nothing
Audacity.
worth my time on Games Pass.
The
Audacity.
Oh,
No, I mean it's understandable though. Like heck, at the end of August, they took away 10 games. One of which, and that was unprecedented. That was double the games they usually take away. At least 5 games, or at most 5 games
Mhm.
at the end of every month. But this month they took away 10, and one of them just happened to be Hades, which was a blowout, like absolute explosion of a game. And like with Hades coming in and doing so well, Dead Cells came in. Wizard of Legend had a it was there before Hades, but it had premise to be there for like once everybody was excited about Hades coming. Wizard of Legend was put in there. Different roguelikes were doing really well. Ori is on there, and a lot of people love going to play that, both for streamers that are still playing the first one and stuff like that. Hollow Knight is on Game Pass, and that's always amazing. And I'm worried they're going to take those away, personally. But I mean, after Hades, which literally brought a lot of attention to the Game Pass and opened the door for Chris Tells and different things like that, along with game previews like Second Extinction and Anvil, I feel like taking away Hades, what was the point of that? This is a personal thought. You know, it's like, why Xbox? Why? Like, but it's a me thing.
Well, I'm also wondering if it has to do with the contract with the studio, where they can have it open for however long. I mean, other than that, you also have like the entire Yakuza series and Doom, and as he said, like roguelike games. I mean, that's where I found Enter the Gungeon, which that got taken off, which I'm sad about. But they still have Moonlighter on there, and Moonlighter is actually a really fun game. So that's still
really great. The Monster Trade, which is an update not slow. I advise them to play it.
For Jeremiah.
What are you saying, Jeremiah?
Oh, I said, it's great. I love Monster Trade.
We can't hear you, dude. You're going to auto-tune.
technical difficulties.
If you need to turn off your camera, go ahead, dude. If that'll help save some bandwidth.
Join me in the non-video era. But you're on mute now too, so.
Yeah,
Is that better?
that is way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, there we are. So, what I'm saying is Moonlighter is really great, and they got to play things like Monster Sanctuary, which is pretty dope. I really like that game. They've got a lot of things on the Game Pass that are really fun to just dive into, along with like the old Rare Replay setup, which is really good. So other than Stray, what do they got on the PlayStation?
I've actually been looking at it. It seems pretty good. They got Stray. They do have Horizon.
Nice.
They've got the newest Five Nights at Freddy's, Demon Souls, God of War 3, couple of Ratchet and Clanks. So they actually do have some pretty decent games and actual like games. Shadow of the Colossus. So I'm just doing a quick look through.
I'm telling you right now, if for some reason they throw on Brave Fence Musashi onto that list, I am forsaking Game Pass. Like,
No, honestly, for me,
I will literally.
honestly, for me, what made Game Pass worth it for me just alone is when they merged with EA, and they got all the EA games on there that I could play. But
See, that did not work out for me. I mean, it did work out for me because every time I try to play an EA game, my computer would shut down because I would play it on my PC, and it would not let me do it.
That's what I play on. I play it on my PC.
Getting it back to what we're here for. Sony apparently is getting sued in the UK. Sad day. We're talking about that on the day the Queen lost her life. You know, she was a great mime out there. She was great, but either way, $6 billion open class action lawsuit in the UK by one individual in particular. Around the same time, they started raising the price of the PlayStation 5 in certain markets. We found Brent and I were talking, and he sent a lot of.
Well, that was always the case. Like that, people misadvertised it. That people were misadvertising it, that they were raising the prices for probably the clicks, right? But it's only being raised in certain Asian markets and certain European markets. In the United States, it's remaining the same price.
Yeah, but it is doing that rise. A lot of bigger named people have already kind of like addressed it or made jokes about it, you know. So that's got its hype train going.
And then with the other companies like Nintendo and Xbox coming out and saying, "Yeah, we're not raising the prices to our consoles."
Oh, well, okay. Well, then Xbox raised their prices in some markets as well. And you know what? Okay.
They did that first. They did do that first.
Nintendo, like, I don't know. Nintendo, I don't think they should really have like a say in this, because those people, one, the Switch hardware is gonna be outdated pretty soon. And two, Nintendo, I have never seen Nintendo lower prices anywhere ever.
Oh, absolutely not.
You Breath of the Wild is pushing 6 years old now, and it's still a full price game.
Still can go to was that Game Exchange and buy it for $54.99. That's great.
I mean, hey, Nintendo was able to get ahead of the market and basically say, hey, you know what? Our games, they keep their value. And that's why you buy from Nintendo Select.
No, Nintendo has always been that way. I'm talking even on their handhelds. I agree with Brent here. Like, Nintendo does not get a say.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, so
I think Nintendo's its own little bubble.
They're the grandparents.
Okay, and the grandparents are way too old for this conversation.
Hey, you don't disrespect the elders, bro.
I do, actually. What are they gonna do? Fight me with their brittle bones? Let's go. You're gonna hit me with those weird Sonic punch sound effects? Let's go. I'm glad that Brent brought that up. Like when he found that, and said to me, like, well, one, it's the fact that it was only like, it's not just the fact that it's only in a select market. Microsoft did the same thing before by raising things up to upwards to 6.8% in certain markets. You know, like so.
And let's face it, in the next 12 months, Game Pass is going to go up in price. You'd be fools to think that it isn't. It's going to go up.
No one will ever argue with that. No one will argue with that. My thing
is, people will.
I won't argue with that. But my thing is, it breaks my heart to drop $140 on just 2 games. That's what bothers me. So on that point, Microsoft will have games listed for $70. However, I mean, of course, a lot of those games will be on Game Pass. So that is, but the thing is, if you plan on buying that game outside of Game Pass, that game will still be $70. Do you honestly think that Starfield? It's a marketing ploy for sure. They're gonna take advantage of that $70 price tag to be like, look, guys, it's there for y'all to buy it from us. I can pay $70, or you can just hop on the Game Pass train with everyone else. Just hop on, and you don't have to feel the impact of a whole $70 out of your wallet.
In essence, I believe that's what they're going to do. Because I brought it up once before. I don't remember who I was talking with. Where it's like, I honestly expected them to use Game Pass as a 2-month free trial. Free, quote, quote. Like, pay $30 to play it for 2 months. If you really liked it, then you're going to buy it, you know? Maybe at a discount price, but they can get some more money. Now, I've actually rethought that. I'm like, 4 months. So it'll stay on there for about 120 days, and then they'll take it off. Because at that point, if you do go to buy it, if you want to keep playing with your friends or whatever, you just paid double the price. Technically, you just paid $60 plus 70. You paid $130 to play that
Unless
game.
you never had Game Pass, because they offer Game Pass for $1 for like 3 months. I know that's what Jacob
Yeah.
did.
That's what I had. I had that when I first launched.
So,
when I first-
so you can spend that $1, play that game, and then after the 3 months, you can be like, okay, I could go buy it or not buy it.
Oh, sure, people will do that, but generally people just let it go. I myself don't even think about it. I should cancel it and get them to give it to me, but I play too many games on Game Pass. So, I mean, bro, ain't no one gonna play Banjo Kazooie, for me, and I can go buy it. So,
but here's the thing: like, if you're not using Games Pass, which some people don't, those games will be $70. They will be. Starfield will launch at $70 outside of Game Pass. Redfall will.
Oh, of course.
and really, that's an assault on both consoles, on all
yeah,
consoles.
on all consoles, it'll be $70.
So the accusatory language towards Sony, saying like being the ones like having like these excruciating prices is not fair. Sure.
No, it's 2K's
sure.
fault.
Huh?
It's 2K's fault.
It's 2K's fault.
Yeah, they're the ones that started the trend.
Oh, they did. I didn't know that.
Yeah, NBA 2K, in NBA 2K 21 or 20, that's when the 70 price tag came in. Sony
really?
Started, but Sony saw it and they're like, "Yo, I mean, if they doing it, we might as well do it too."
But Microsoft agreed to that price as well.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So
yeah, you gotta keep a flat MSRP across the board.
Of course.
But
like,
so
look,
so
I would
on
be
that same
heartbroken
token,
if I paid $70 for Halo. I mean, granted, I wouldn't have done it because 343 they could go to a dark place and just never come back out. But you know what? I don't have to worry about that buyer's remorse because Game Pass.
I will. So moving to that,
I gotta point out that if you look at the price of video games and the history of video games and how much they've cost, $70 is still a fair price.
Technically, yeah, with inflation, yeah. But,
Yeah.
but still, you know what?
Yeah.
But you know what, Bro? I don't like it. All right, and you can't make me like it.
No, I make that argument though, and I will continue to make that argument. It's like regardless, $20 was still $20 made, back in the day. And what I've also noticed when I go to Google, when it gives you like the quick what would it be, like comparisons of prices of games to consoles, I notice the PlayStation always gets left off that unless you start doing some in-depth look into it. And the reason why is exactly what I said, because they had games that came out and ranged from different prices and were quick to drop into the $5 bin, because they sported that it was cheaper to make their games because they were on like better mass produced, like the discs instead of instead of on like in cartridges again, And PlayStation 2 hyped it back up though, and I've always been sad ever since. But as a poor guy who had to pay for my games, it's like, no, I know these prices. I literally like mowed fucking lawns around these prices,
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
dude. But
I want to say one thing. I want to say one thing though. I want to say this: Jim Ryan and Phil Spencer are terrible.
Oh yeah,
they are both terrible.
I don't know, man. I always thought you really liked Phil Spencer, bro.
Phil Spencer. Here's Phil Spencer, right?
Phil Spencer's one of the biggest liars in the game.
Like, he has good ideas. Like I said, I like Game Pass, but you know what my thing is? And people may not agree. He's too nice.
Yeah.
Like 343 would not.
Unbelievably nice.
343 would have not survived in a pre Phil Spencer era. And his whole thing with, I mean, I don't like Crunch. I don't agree with Crunch, but he's way too lenient. Like, bro, your flagship Halo got delayed for a year, and then when it came out, it wasn't even done. And Brent, I'm a big Halo fan, right? I'm a big Halo fan,
Would never have guessed.
And season two, it's been 10 months out, and you know what they give us instead of a season 3? Another roadmap that they're gonna that another roadmap where they're gonna get a flat tire and have to find another detour. So no, like so Mr. Phil Spencer, he has good ideas. Like I said, I like Game Pass, but the way he runs things, I'm like, bro, you're too lenient. And Jim Ryan, he's just arrogant.
Yeah.
That's his deal. He's just arrogant. He don't care about nothing outside of the bottom dollar. Because, okay, for instance, like what happened recently with see, I don't care about The Last of Us. I mean, I've told you, I don't.
Right.
Think,
Yeah.
I think that game's overrated. But when you spend $100 on a game and then you get it and it's been stomped on, and the best they can do is like, "Oh, my bad, homie. We'll give you 20% off your next purchase."
So here's the thing. Now I don't know the full story behind that, but probably one of the reasons why they couldn't replace it was because they probably only made a limited amount of those things.
Sure.
Now, whether it be on Sony or the shipper in regards to how the game arrived at an individual site, I don't know. At the end of the day, I'll happily admit that it doesn't look good on Sony on that regard. But the fact of the matter is, for example, I have the Spider-Man PS4 edition of the PlayStation 4 Pro. If something happened with that, and they had to send me a new PlayStation 4 Pro, I wouldn't get a replacement Spider-Man version because they only made a limited amount of those. They'd send me a new PlayStation 4 Pro.
I would agree with that, but so I'm gonna go back a decade, okay? So I have the Halo 3 edition 360.
Okay.
That was a limited edition.
Okay.
I played it for like 4 or 5 years. It got the red ring, and I was like, you know what? I remember they had this thing where we get the red ring, and it falls within, if the serial number falls within this year, or like these certain years, they'll either fix it or send me a replacement for free. So I sent it off, and I'm like you. I'm thinking, oh man, I'm probably gonna get a basic Xbox because they don't have these anymore. To my surprise, they got me a brand new Halo 3 edition Xbox 360.
How do you know that it was
the 360 game?
How do you know that it was brand new?
Well, I mean, it was still sitting in the box, and I opened it up, and it still had all the stickers on it. I mean, maybe they put those on there. Yeah, but no, it was still. I got the packaging still. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. Okay, so I mean,
hold on, but that was a decade ago.
I could be absolutely wrong.
I know that was a decade ago, but I'm saying a limited edition Spider-Man PS4 is not saying it's not comparing it to as if it was a PS5. Whereas a PS5, yeah, I'm sure there are a small minute quantity of those consoles because they're struggling making those consoles. There was not a struggle making PS4s. Those things were coming out like crazy.
Well, the thing is, I don't know how many of these Spider-Man PS4 Pros that they produced, and if they would have been able to replace a full-on Spider-Man PS4 Pro if something had happened to it.
Yeah. Oh shit! I didn't even have my chat open. Sorry, guys. I'll hit y'all up in a bit.
Dare you?
Limon? Who's Limon? Wow, those people sounds pretty racist. Oh, one of you sounded racist apparently. That don't matter. Anyways. No, but anyways,
we're good.
Anyways, though, so
where's the bunch?
So my thing is, I get it could be the shipper's fault, right? But I mean, if you're sending out games through a third party, right? Let's say a third party, it's not coming straight out of factory. You should at least be aware of how they do things, and not just go with the first bid or whatever. Just say, all right, just send them out.
How many reported cases of that was there?
Last I checked, there's that were posted. I think there were like 6 or 7, but I don't know how much. Yeah, I saw that there's a lot of them on eBay that people are just trying to resell them to get their money back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
there's probably not a number we can really look at this point.
Yeah.
Nah.
So No, that is unfortunate. Like,
Okay.
and I can agree that situation is very unfortunate. But like I said, the thing is, in what I think is a big issue with businesses in general, with these gaming companies in general, is that there's a lack of transparency, right? Like Sony could easily come out and be like, okay, look, there was an issue. We're apologize. Now we can't fully replace it, but this is what we can give you. If they had at least done that, that would have looked better. But no company is willing to be transparent.
I mean, so I actually to piggyback off that, 20% off your next purchase. That's kind of a shot. Come on now, like you could have done better than that.
Yeah.
Like
Well-
they just good money to get this. You could have at least done 30. You could have done, and I know that seems minuscule, but 30 is a bigger number than 20 when it comes to buying $70 games. It's my next purchase is most likely going to be $74, and if you can give me 30% off that, at least puts it down to 2010 prices. So
but I want to go on the other side of things too, though, because I mentioned that about Sony, but now it's time to slap Xbox or something because they did something
oh yeah,
equally as bad. You know what they did, Brent? Let me tell you what they
What's
did.
that?
What do you think you get when you order a special edition Halo Infinite?
What was offered with that?
It was a still case, at the game. Or no, it included a disc. But guess what was in that disc?
What was on that disc?
Nothing.
What?
It was a blank
No way.
disc.
No.
Okay, no,
It came with a code to get the game, but they put the disc in there just so you can have a disc in there. So
okay, go ahead.
No. So
how very corporate. Like,
no, look.
like,
So,
I don't
so
know,
the
like,
thing.
that has to be the most capitalist thing I've ever heard.
Okay, so
You're getting a fake disc, like.
No, I have one better. With the big the big $200 or $300 edition of The Last of Us Part 1. It was this big thing. It came with all this stuff, and it came with a steelbook, but no disc, a digital download code.
No.
No,
Just a
look it up.
download code?
I was just like, what the hell? No, you can absolutely look it up. No, that they did that. They and I think it had to do with what was the issue that they didn't want to have to they just decided to make it all digital as opposed to making two versions of it. I don't know. I'd have to take a look back at that thing, but that's what happened. No, like dude, like I see and I recognize the mistakes that Sony makes, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? But at the same time, I'm sitting there going, it's like, hey, all the games that they make are a lot of fun. I haven't been disappointed by Well, I don't really like the Uncharted series, but most of their games I do like.
They're not bad. They're not bad. They're just very linear. But I mean, they're a good 6-hour, 7-hour game. But I want to say one more thing too in regards to that.
Yeah, sorry.
So one thing I do like Xbox for is, let's say you bought a game that came out for a previous generation. They're like, hey, you know what? You bought the game. Don't worry. If you move up to the Series X, you'll get the update for free. You'll get that update. Whereas Sony said you'll get that with, what was it, launch releases. And then I think it was Horizon Forbidden West where they were charging for it until they got called out on it. And then they're like, okay, we'll do it. We forgot. But going forward, you got to pay for those upgrades.
So, well, soon the upgrades are going to be obsolete because everything's just going to be on this gen in general.
Right.
So it is accurate to say that the Horizon Forbidden West is the last free upgrade that will be available. God of War Ragnarok will have a $10 upgrade, but I think God of War will be the last will be the last game that Sony makes for last gen. So after that, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll
so that point, that argument's not going to really matter anymore.
And it doesn't really matter in the sense of Microsoft is doing the same thing.
Never. Are they?
No, they are. Yeah, no, they really are. Call of Duty Black Ops. I actually had to do it recently because it was pretty much unplayable on my Xbox Series X unless I upgraded. It was just giving me all this crap. And so it's like, well, how do I upgrade it? You have to pay $10. I was like, no way for an outdated Call of Duty game.
Was that Xbox or was that? Oh, I guess technically. Oh no, the site hasn't gone through yet. So it depends on the
I bought
developer.
the game. I bought the game when it was half off at one point a few years back, and I was told it was supposed to be a free upgrade, but it was a $10. I had to pay $10, $10.74, baby. Like. So now, you can't just put that on Sony because Microsoft is doing the same crap.
Well, to play devil's advocate, that could be a Activision Blizzard decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mean a Microsoft owned Activision Blizzard decision?
Microsoft doesn't own them yet.
Yeah.
All right.
They're in the middle of the acquisition for it.
Yeah, geez.
But they do not own it yet.
You over there reaching, cuh. You know why they don't own it yet? Because Sony's being a dick and being a cockblock.
I feel like I have the right to be salty about having to pay $10 for an upgrade to play with my friends on a 3 to 4 year old game.
To sort of jab at Microsoft here, in the 2 years that this gen has been in effect, what game has Microsoft launched that would warrant a $10 upgrade?
Forza.
Mm-hmm. One game.
Hey, that's a beautiful game, though.
You were wanting us to name anything with the thought that there was no games. That was a good pullout. But at the same time,
Cyberpunk, they get the free upgrade.
Yeah, I got a free upgrade.
That's an apology. That free upgrade is an apology, and we all know it. Don't you dare!
Hey, I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying.
But we're talking. But what we're talking about here is
no. Did they announce that before the game came out?
That there would be a free upgrade.
Yeah, they announced that before the game even came out.
Yeah. It was always going to. Yeah, there was always going to be a free upgrade.
Yeah,
it just took a lot longer than they wanted it to.
Yeah,
but I think they also knew that the game was busted before it came out too.
Oh, hey, tomato guy. we didn't know.
But like, if Starfield will Starfield be playable on the Xbox One?
No. So I think
I refuse to believe that.
No, I think with that. I think with that, cause the whole point of keeping Xbox One end up family was the point because they get to use it to stream on, right? That's the whole thing. They want to be able to, but I think if anything, Halo Infinite was a good lesson to Microsoft in saying the Xbox is it's too limited for it to be on there. So I don't think that's going to be an Xbox game.
Sorry, I just missed the question. What was the question? Is Starfield going to be on Xbox One?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Is it really?
Wow.
It is.
The balls on those guys.
Ooh, that'll be interesting.
And in fact, not only is it going to be on Xbox One, but it's going to be a day one release on Xbox Game Pass too.
Well, of course. I mean,
I am. It's saying it's going to be Microsoft Windows, Xbox Series X, and Xbox Series S. I don't see any sign that it'll be released on Xbox One.
Yeah.
Where did I wish? Honestly, now I have to look deeper into that one.
You know, we're all wrong. All right, guys. You know what?
Yeah, we were all wrong.
We need to buy the Amico.
I just download some emulators from online. There we go.
But if they had launched it maybe this year, then it probably would have been available on Xbox One.
Getting from this discussion is we should have all just invested into Steam Decks.
Dude, Steam Decks are legit. I've actually played on one. But another thing I want to say is I know the title says it's PlayStation taking a step back. I feel like this generation everyone took a step back, mainly because I feel like these consoles should have released this upcoming year. I think they all came out too early.
Yeah, I even can attest to that. So I've been kind of frustrated. Here's the thing, and this might sound a little selfish, but you know, I've had my PlayStation 5 since day one, and I see all of these games, whether it be first party or third party, being released for both consoles, and it's just like, when are we going to make the full transition, right? Like, I feel like it's time to make the full transition. We're 2 years in, and basically right now, my PlayStation 5 has been nothing more than a PlayStation 4 Pro. So it's like, I'm ready for game developers to embrace current gen, which is what we're the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S generation.
Yeah. Well, so my friend, he bought the PS5, and and I went over to his, and I played on it, and it was fine. I Shadows of Colossus, dude. I wish that came on PC, because that game is what Zelda should have looked like instead of the little animated piece of crap. But I'm gonna pull that back a bit. I asked him, like, dude, do you still play it? He's like, nah, dude. It's literally just collecting dust. So I'm like, why is that? Like, 'cause all the games that I want to play are on PC now, and it runs better on PC. And there haven't really been any good games for me to want to buy. And I even asked him, like, what about God of War? It's coming out in November. He's like, yeah, I may buy it, but I also just may wait to play it on PC.
He'll wait 4 or 5 years.
Well, the thing is, I think PlayStation is gonna pick up the frequency on when games go on PC, because they're noticing how much money they're bringing in with that. So my thing is, I can see it being like a year wait. But I mean, there's rumors that they make their own what's it called, similar to Steam and Epic Game Store, like their own version of that. Which if they did, I would love that, because that means I could get games as soon as everyone else does. But so that frequency for that may go up. Hopefully, I'm still waiting for Ghost of Tsushima. But
Ghost of Tsushima is not PC yet.
Nuh-uh.
No, not yet. It'll be there.
Oh, it needs to be there.
Yeah. But here's the question, right? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, any modern gamer should recognize that they need to have a solid state drive in their PCs. But like, it will be interesting to see. Is like there's going to come a point where like PCs will need to be upgraded to be able to play these games on. Because one of the reasons why, and I don't know, what we know on the surface is what we know, and I know that for a fact that Square Enix has gone on record that they like the speed of the solid state drive in the PlayStation 5, and that's one of the reasons why. One of the reasons why they put a lot of their games as timed exclusives on the PlayStation 5.
Fine.
But then
I'm still waiting for Final Fantasy 7 on the Xbox.
Hey, technically, that timed exclusive, that it's done. It's on PC now.
That's different.
It's not different.
It's supposed to be on
It's
Xbox.
not different.
I pre-ordered it for Xbox. I still haven't gotten it.
You pre-ordered it on Xbox?
No, I'm not stupid. Why would I do that?
I was like, so it technically the timed exclusivity is up and it went to PC. Whether or not it'll go to, so it's really in Square Enix's and Xbox's court now to get a port.
Yeah. Can I say something?
So,
I want to say one thing. I want to tell you how I know Game Pass is superior. Because even PlayStation puts games on Game Pass.
What did they put on Game Pass?
MLB The Show.
Is the MLB The Show on game owned by PlayStation?
Yeah, PlayStation Studios.
Yeah. Who developed it?
PlayStation Studios.
PlayStation Studios.
You can launch the game and you see PlayStation Studios on it. I'm sorry, I just had a jack.
It's just a baseball game. But
I'm just messing with you.
Look, there's no denying there's no denying that Games Pass is great for it's how do I put it? It's a consumer friendly product. It really is. I'm not denying that.
It's good for
I
children.
mean, for like if you can't afford what is it, $10 to $15 a month, then you've got some serious problems with your finances. Like
Hey, real problems. Let's not be judgmental now.
You get what I'm trying to say. Like you get what I'm trying to say though. Like it really truly is. It really truly is a really great consumer friendly product. But on the flip side, like I said, I'm paying $10. I'm paying $10 a month for the PlayStation Plus Premium program, and if PlayStation is going in the direction that they are, if they keep going in the direction that they're going, they will be a legitimate competitor with Game Pass in 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, I hope I'm rooting for PlayStation for their whole tier list to succeed, because competition, brings a better product, right?
Sure.
So Game Pass, I feel like it, and sometimes it's just coasting by, and that's fine. And I thought the PlayStation tier list was phenomenal, because I was thinking like, yo, what if they do make their own online store, and I could get that, and I could play old PS1 and PS2 games, right? But from what I've been hearing, they haven't even put any more classic games on that tier list yet.
Not yet.
So maybe it's one of those, because Game Pass took a minute to build traction. I remember when Game Pass first came out, it was dookie. But I mean, like Netflix, when Netflix came out, it was utter garbage. All you had were Western movies from like the 60s. and then one day animes and new movies started showing up. So I'm hoping Sony picks up traction, because Phil Spencer.
It's only been out for 3 months.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
hoping they'll build traction and move forward and develop. Because, like I said, Game Pass, for me, Game Pass is worth it. But Phil Spencer's just too nice, and I need him to stomp on the throats of the developers that they have. Because, dude, what's the point of showing a trailer? I love Hellblade. Hellblade was awesome, right? When they were like, yo, Hellblade 2 coming out, we're like, awesome, cool. Don't show me nothing unless you have gameplay. And all I've been getting was aerial shots of the locations they took it. I'm like, Ninja, there, you kind of dragging your feet here, man. Like, and then you see Indiana Jones. So I'm like, oh, Indiana Jones game. Haven't heard from it since. Perfect Dark looks phenomenal from what little trailer I saw. Haven't heard nothing else from it.
Recently, Perfect Dark, they talked about it.
I think I saw some mention of it yesterday.
I haven't seen nothing.
Yep. Perfect. So what happened with Perfect Dark, and I don't want to get the things wrong.
But so on that note, I am rooting for Xbox. I really am. But like it, like, and they have, and as of right now, Xbox has no excuses anymore to put out mediocre games. They have zero.
There we go. No. So what happened was recently was that another AAA developer, Crystal Dynamics,
I remember,
came in to work on Perfect Dark, because they lost a lot of people in the main developer. In the initiative. And so when asked about it, though, I mean, the statement is, if you think that this is still the era of single AAA game titles, like AAA producers producing the games themselves, you're wrong. This is the time for multi-collabs, and I think that's pretty dope. I'm actually very excited for the new Perfect Dark.
Dude, I'm excited for them to buy Activision, and then they give Activision a shot at making a Halo game. Dude, imagine though.
Phil Spencer needs to go into Activision and clean house. He does.
He does. I mean, that's the only route if he does not do things
I think
correctly.
I think I think that you know, even as someone who has lately been leaning towards Sony stuff, I think that Xbox's purchase of Activision Blizzard is the best thing for Xbox and the best thing for Activision Blizzard. It's made them a real true competitor in the gaming market. And from what I have seen in the past half decade, maybe a little longer, Xbox has not been able to truly touch Sony in certain specific areas, and now they can. And you know what? Here's the thing. I think that so Xbox made an offer to Sony. It's like, hey, look, we're honoring the 4-year contract that is currently in existence for Call of Duty. Plus, we're going to give you an additional 3 years. And then Jim Ryan was like, no, screw that. That's not good enough. And I'm sitting here like, bitch, please. That's plenty of time. That is 7 years for you. And that is 7 years for you and maybe like Bungie and some other company to sit down and come up with a great first party legitimate competitor to Call of Duty. Now, would it be a real true legitimate competitor to Call of Duty? Probably not. Call of Duty's got 20 years has got almost 20 years on the first person shooter market. But like Sony can sit down and maybe revive one of their old products, whether it be Killzone or like Resistance, and do something with it. Like, it's like, dude, you've got 7 years to come up with a competitor to Call of Duty. Take it and leave it.
Dude, if Sony could, dude, if they can make Killzone a live service, that'll be phenomenal. Because I mean, Killzone was one of my favorite games playing on the PS2 with my cousins. And like, dude, they can have. So I mean, because Destiny, I think they said Bungie's games are staying cross-plat. I believe that's what their agreement was. But using Bungie's experience to do a Killzone game and have that as a live service, would it compare to Call of Duty? No, but if it's done right and supported thoroughly, it could build traction.
Yeah. So I gotta ask you. I want to ask you something, Isaac, and give me your truly honest opinion. What are your thoughts on Starfield right now? Do you believe that it is a true Game of the Year competitor for Xbox, because that is the game that they're putting all of their that's their eggs in a single basket game?
Hey, so my brother's in here being a troll. Jacob wanted me to tell you this was from a topic a little while ago. They don't have any friends, so there's no reason for you to buy an upgrade on Call of Duty to play with your friends. That being said,
that's fair.
How do I think Starfield will come out? Or do I think it's gonna be what now?
Do you think it's gonna be a critical success and be a legitimate game of the year contender for 2020?
Yes, for this reason. So those games I don't play. Okay. I don't play those games. So like any Elder Scrolls games, I don't play those just because that's too much time for me, right? I don't. But the reason I feel it would is because of Psychonauts 2.
Psychonauts 2.
So Psychonauts 2 was already in development, and then Microsoft came in and was like, "Hey, we'll give y'all more money, and then we can put it on Game Pass." And it was still cross-platform, but they bought the rights to it. But they gave them the money to give it that perfect polish where it was a Game Award consideration. I think it won a Game Award, right? So with Starfield,
it was nominated for Game
of the Year.
It
was nominated.
I don't think it won though.
But Starfield didn't start development as soon as Microsoft bought them. They were already there. So my thing is, if it's the same way as Psychonauts 2 was, where they already had the game, but that extra couple stacks of couple millies could clean it up even more, then yes, I feel like it could, because they were able to do that with Skyrim, amongst other Elder Scrolls games, right? Without that funding from a giant corporation. Now you have empty pockets to dig through
So you are in agreement that Starfield. We're in a so we are so I guess the best way to put it, that you and I are in agreement that Bethesda has zero excuses to make mediocre games now.
Oh, for sure, dude. I didn't care about Bethesda. I never cared about them until the Evil Within.
Okay, no, that's not real Bethesda. That's
no,
just a
I know, but I'm saying like that's how much I don't care about those games. Like I never touched. Like I played Skyrim for a day. My friend let me borrow it. I ejected it, put it back in the case. I was like, "Here you go. It's not for me." And then I just left. Right. So because I think Bethesda also Doom, right? Doom was fun. So I guess
it was published by Bethesda, but not developed.
Okay, published. Okay, so those games, like I said, I don't play them much, but they succeeded, even with all their flaws. And granted,
they did something right.
They did something right, and now, do I think that game is gonna be glitch free? That it's not gonna have any issues? No, because games like that are that massive.
Selling point of Bethesda. Like that's a selling point of Bethesda. It's a joke that everyone looks forward to.
Exactly.
And we talked about it before, Brent. My whole thing is they produced a game that had over 1,000 bug glitches and is still top on MMOs right now. Freaking Fallout 76. It annoys the crap out of me that we accept that type of stuff.
So one thing I will say though, because I feel with that game, like you were saying, they put a lot of their eggs in that one basket, and like I said, hopefully, with the extra income, like they don't have any excuse, right? They can't have another Fallout 76. Like there's no reason for that to happen again, right? And also, I think with the extra funding, because I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, right? I don't know because I never really played them. The Skyrim have DLCs? They had DLCs, right?
Yeah, they usually get released over the course of a couple of years.
So my thing is, if that game's probably gonna last a good while. Like I'm pretty sure that game's gonna continue, like because
Skyrim did. I mean, Skyrim going.
Yeah. So my thing is, I feel like with the unlimited money they have to put towards it, and that in itself could be a live service game. So
Starfield won't be a live service game. It's just
you never know, bro. You never know. One day they may use that
for
something else.
Hang on. So
I mean about live service, I mean continue updates. Like they'll keep selling, they'll keep selling like DLCs or whatever, unless you have Game Pass for free.
So hang on, Casey or Jeremiah, do you guys play the Elder Scrolls games, the or any like mainline Bethesda title?
I played through them. I played Skyrim. I beat it, quote, I guess. But, I got through the main storyline. And I played ESO for a while there. Still got a character on there. Made him fat as crap.
That doesn't
makes
count.
me happy.
ESO doesn't count.
It does not count.
As for me, yeah, I have played both Elder Scrolls and Skyrim. I haven't played any of the other ones.
Casey, have you seen any footage? Have you seen the gameplay footage of Starfield?
I have not off the top of my head,
dude.
No.
They had like 10 minutes, right? It was like 10 minutes.
They have like they have like 10 minutes of gameplay. So to me, like there's some concerns about Starfield. I have some legitimate concerns about Starfield. One, they say that there's going to be 1,000 explorable planets. It's like, okay,
No Man's Sky, baby. I'm sorry.
It's like, what are you going to do with those? What is going to be on those 1,000? It's like, I doubt that there's going to really be much of anything. There's probably going to be some enemy types and like some like mining or whatever. But like, it's like, do we really want all of that in a single game though? Sorry, your chat.
Did she fool me?
But like, I don't know. Like sometimes for me, more isn't always better, and I think for me, like Fallout 4 proved that there was just like it was really big. There was too much going on, and also like it doesn't Starfield doesn't look next gen to me either. That is that is a concern of mine. But I am rooting for it. I want it to do well.
Honestly, for me, the only game I've seen so far that legit, I was like, yo, that's a next gen game. And I'm not talking about like no loading screens. I'm like, generally, I looked at it like, yo, that's next gen. Was Ratchet and Clank.
Rift Apart.
That's the only game so far. Even like I could be wrong, right? Because I haven't.
No, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was legit. Like it looked great. But check out Forbidden West. Forbidden West is probably the best looking game on the PlayStation 5 right now.
Okay, so okay, and about those 1,000 planets, right? That you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Let me double check something real quick. When did Skyrim come out?
It came out 11/11/11, baby. I was midnight launch. Yep, 11/11/11.
All right, so that game's been out for going on. Was it 11 years?
Yeah,
the 11 years in November 11th.
Yeah,
people still play the hell out of that, and there's not that much content to be searched for, to where people are modding in new content.
Yeah.
What if they're like, yo, this is our next 11, 15-year endeavor, and that's why we had those 1,000 planets.
That would be cool. That they would have been.
Because one of those planets, in a way, could be sandboxes of that people could mess with.
That would be cool. Like honestly, that would be legit. I would be all for that. Or even have DLC or even like free DLC come in and have people start inhabiting those planets and have like missions being put on some of those planets. I would be all for that. That would be legit. Are you kidding me? I'm down for that.
To point out that Jacob is playing Devil May Cry 5 on the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, I told him.
How dare you?
Jacob's playing it on the Xbox.
That's what I'm saying. He's playing on the Xbox, or yeah, I'm sorry, Xbox One.
Yeah, and I told him it's on Game Pass, and he's like, "No, I'm good."
He's on it right now. He could have been here.
He could have been. No, but he's sick. Okay, so real quick, Neshifumi, because apparently Neshifumi here is a avid Elder Scrolls Skyrim fan. So I'm sure he's seen gameplay. What do you think? Do you think the 1,000 planets are a bit excessive? Or are you thinking kind of like around thinking we're going to use that to build upon for the next 100 years? Let's say. But yes. This ain't this way. I get a little much. Oh, just a little too much. Okay, maybe. You know what? They didn't do what Nintendo did. Not 1,000. 999.
I guess for me, I'd be like, okay, he's like, all right, Skyrim, you want to be, or not Skyrim, Starfield, you want to be a big game? Okay, give us 20 planets, but make each one of those planets, each one of those planets like have like meaning and purpose. You know, whether there be a settlement on there with maybe several missions on it, and then like a sizable explorable area of that planet. I'm all down for that. Like quality over quantity, man. And like, go ahead.
No, I'll say
no. Hold on. I'm coming in with this. 20 explorable planets, but you have to build a ship out of Legos to get there. And when you get there, you got to find a keyhole that's usually guarded by some weird entities. I don't know. Throw Mickey Mouse in there.
Couple Final Fantasy characters.
Yeah. Few Final Fantasy characters. Well, no. It's Bethesda. You gotta throw in like
Doom guy.
The Fallout. Yeah, Doom guy. Dragonborn.
Over and over.
Preston Garvey. Yeah, I know all too well about him.
Settlements and but my thing is another thing too. I remember I think we talked about this a while back on an old episode where games. I feel like I think even Ubisoft is noticing it. That's why they're kind of rebooting the franchise. Is most games are having that Ubisoft fatigue, to where like, yeah, the game is 100, 200 hours long, but it's because I have to do this side quest. to continue the story. I have to do this other mission that lasts about 40 minutes. And yeah, I hate that. That's why, for instance, like being Breath of the Wild, we don't get along. Granted, you don't have to do those side quests, right? You don't have to.
Mm.
But I wish I could go back and just play it knowing I don't have to invest a shit ton of hours just to get back where I was, right? Like I don't see no reward in that. The only game right now that I'm okay with that, because if it's done right, and here's an example of it being done right. Witcher 3. I have almost over 100 hours in that game, and not once have I said, "Gosh, is this game almost over?" Like I'm dreading when it ends for myself. I'm having so much fun with it.
On that note, I have not. I've been playing Cyberpunk, and I have not been bored once. And I think I'm like 50 hours in. I haven't been bored once. You know, say what you want about the launch of that game, but that game is actually a lot of fun, and there's a lot of stuff to do in it, and none of it is boring.
Yeah, and they're gonna release some new content. So there's nothing wrong with it being a long game, but like if Bethesda comes out, if that game comes out similar to that, to where everything has purpose, and as Neshi said, like it's fleshed out, then great. I'm sure people won't mind investing hundreds and hundreds of hours into it. Because that's why I didn't play Skyrim or none of those games. That's why I'm surprised I liked Witcher 3. Because I avoided games where I needed to invest that much time into. So which actually got me thinking maybe I should give Skyrim another shot.
Because... Dude, let's all, oh, not Skyrim. I was gonna say all four of us here should just play Starfield day one and see what happens.
Oh man, yeah, I'll stream it just for the hell of it. Like because I've never really got into those games. Because I mean, for me during that time, dude, all I was playing was Call of Duty. Like my whole focus was dropping 30, 40 bombs on people just for the hell of it. So any game at that time was not safe if it had a story to it, because I didn't care. But that being said, we got a little off topic a little bit, but it's fine because we can all agree Xbox and Sony got a lot to build up on because they're both slacking.
Yeah, no, agreed. Yeah. And Isaac, hopefully you understand me a little bit more now. And that I'm just and that I'm not just some pony, okay? What is it? That's what the Twitter people use? Yeah, the pony. I'm not just some pony. Like I'm just rooting for games in general. And for the past several years, the gaming industry has actually been disappointing me a lot.
I will be there every second of it. Maybe.
But one final tidbit about Starfield, which was really concerning to me, is that a few months ago there was a leak, and like a previous developer said that they're having troubles finding the fun.
Well, that's good.
Which is,
they could go in and fix that then.
Yeah, they need to go in there and fix that.
But
anyways,
Brent, I know you're a good guy, bro, but I get a little cranky when I gotta look over your right shoulder and see The Last of Us just staring me right in my face. One of the most overrated games of all time. Oh god, that Ellie statue. That's not an Ellie statue, is it? He got the Ellie statue.
The Ellie statue.
Oh, hey, drop it. I heard it's shatterproof. Let's find out.
Oh,
that is mean.
I have all this other great Persona 5 stuff over here to make up for it.
Oh, Persona's great. Last of Us 1 is an amazing game. It is an amazing game for the price I paid for. I paid $5 for it, and it was phenomenal. For that
there price. You go.
Yeah, so it's all good. But okay, so closing thoughts. I kind of gave mine. I think he gave his. Juicy and Mr. Frog.
I mean, so you know how it is, man. It like. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how it is for me right now. Like, I am not really on either side with it. I will say that given the controversies we hardly touched on, I would say that the one causing the bigger issue right now is Microsoft. But ultimately, I like where this conversation went. Wasn't any animosity. I think everyone was on the same page for what they expect from all this. Oh, well, there's that. But
JK, I love you.
But certainly not what I expected. So I guess I was like, oh, I'm good with this. What a good day, you know?
Casey, are you still there?
I'm still here, yeah.
Poor guy. I feel we haven't heard much from you in the past hour.
Oh, it's perfectly fine. I actually have my own issues here going on at home, so I've kind of been going in and out on you guys, so no worries on that. Honestly, when it comes to like Sony and Microsoft, though, they're both just trying to get as much money as possible.
Okay.
Like, it's just it's no longer about the gamers. I mean, they push games that are broken, and they're really not really being kind to gamers as of now. They are pretending at the moment.
I will say this: I don't blame them, because if I was in the business, I would do the exact same. Because us, the gamers, are still buying those games, so they know they can get.
Yeah,
they can get look. I'm a Cowboys fan. Now let me tell you how this is similar to it. We haven't won anything in the past 26 years. We've been sucking and sucking and sucking. The only thing Mr. Jerry Jones cares about is the money, and we could actually get him out of there to help us win the championship. But no, because we still keep buying their tickets, we keep buying their jerseys, so he ain't changing nothing because nothing's hurting the bottom line. So that's how game developers are. Like, yeah.
And on it's like, here's the thing: as much as I love The Last of Us, I am not gonna freaking buy their remake for $70. I'm not gonna. I won't do it. I love the game. It's one of the best games I've ever played. But I'm not gonna spend $70 on some glorified glow up. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, that being said, honestly, I remember I said this a long time ago too, and it looks like it's not happening because it's technically not the same. The only game I told everyone that I would drop more than it's actually, like, I would drop $500 on this game for it to be remade to the way I wanted it would be Modern Warfare 2. But that game is already coming out, but it's not gonna be the same. It ain't the same unless the intervention's in there. But yeah, no, outside of that, any other remakes, I'm like, I'm good. I mean, I bought what's it called? Skyward Sword for the $60, and a lot of people were like, "Why are you paying $60 again? It's not worth it." I never played it, so I will say this: if you never played The Last of Us, and you got a PS5 and you played The Last of Us 2 for some reason, but never played the first one, or you want to play The Last of Us 2 but you never played the first one, then buy it, because I feel like the fidelity going from 1 to 2 will be a lot more smoother.
Yeah.
Even though I feel like the remastered game on the PS4 looks pretty solid already.
Oh, it does.
So,
even the PS3 version still looks good.
Yeah, so I mean, I haven't played it. I saw a little bit gameplay, and to me, all I noticed is different models. That's all I really noticed. The models look different, but outside of that, it still looks like the same game to me.
Yeah.
Very much. I mean, it technically is the same game, same story, just different time.
I mean, like the scenery and all that still looks similar. Like, it's not enough for me to be like, oh my gosh, this game is beautiful.
And they left factions out of it.
Yeah, dude, I played factions once at my friend's house, and that was kind of fun. But that was only on the PS3, wasn't it?
I think it was on the PS4 version as well.
Was it? Okay, I wasn't sure. Because I played it on the PS4, but I didn't pay for PSN, so I never looked into it. Let's get what's decent game, just overhyped. Yeah, just overhyped. But you know what? Hey, you know what? Maybe one day I'll get dared to do a live stream of The Last of Us Part 2. And you know what? I would do it. I would do it. And I would be back in
a live stream of The Last of Us Part 2.
Well, it doesn't work that way, okay? I need a PS5 to begin with.
You can play it on PS4. It'll run like a like a jet engine.
Because a buddy of mine here sold me a defective PS4 without telling me. But you know what? We're past that. No. I think he goes by Juicy. but you know, that's neither here nor there.
That's weird.
But anyways, I think we're good here. I think Whip is gonna have his own take on this, right? On your
Yeah,
own
we're gonna do a follow up. We're gonna do a follow up on. We're gonna continue discussing these things on mine as second half of the collab. I think that date is still up in the air because Juicy Jeremiah is going to be gone this weekend.
Yep.
How dare you?
Friends.
How about
I
Friday?
have friends.
How about Friday?
Tomorrow night?
Can you do tomorrow night, Juice?
No, I'll be traveling tomorrow night, going to a lake house.
You know what? But there's no dedication with this guy.
If we want to do part 2 next Thursday, I'm down.
We just have a Whip stream it.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Same time, just same time next Thursday on my channel.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah, I might just do a pre-recording just to have something up that day too. So yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Make sure we'll stop by. We got some good viewership today, man. I'm kind of impressed. I'm kind of happy. Neshy, thanks for stopping by. Jacob being a troll. And then I think Twan was up in here too. And whoever else was.
He was.
But anyways, you know. Make sure to hit up my homie here, Whip. The link is in the bio, you know. And thank you.
Be sure if you really like our content, go follow us on Instagram at Dude Let's Chat, Twitter at Dude Let's Chat, TikTok at Dude Let's Chat.
Especially Twitter, because I do live streams now, and that's where I post them. And then Instagram is mainly for to get notifications when we go live, which I'm gonna help be more active on because there've been some hot drops lately, and we haven't been capitalizing on them yet.
So if you've been missing us for so long, then why don't you just follow us on our social media and figure out when we're coming?
Exactly.
And Whip, where we gonna find you and Casey, the dynamic duo?
Casey, do you want to take it away?
Well, you can definitely find us on YouTube at Whip, WIP, Work in Progress.
Yeah.
You can also find Brent over here on Twitch. I believe you use Whip there, right? You use Work in Progress on Twitch as well?
Don't follow me on Twitch.
Follow him on Twitch.
Don't follow me on Twitch. I get down on Twitch maybe 3 times a month.
You should stream it
lately
on YouTube.
Huh?
You should stream it on YouTube.
I should stream on YouTube. I should do that. YouTube Work in Progress, Instagram Whip _media_slow. Yeah. And Casey, you better talk more next Thursday because
I'm sorry, I have a hurt dog, okay? That's what's going on right here.
I took a second seat too. I was like, hey, I mean, they're just doing their thing right now, so
yeah. But I will say one more thing too is he also forgot go to www.onlyfans.com/whip. There you go.
Oh,
yeah.
Casey too. You see, Casey doesn't have a face cam because he says the face cam for OnlyFans.
Exactly. You
there it is.
You gotta pay the big bucks for that.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Leave a like.
Thanks for having me as always.
A dislike.
Thank you guys.
And subscribe for more. Ring the notification bell. Later. Oh, that was phenomenal. See, Whip, I wasn't gonna come at you with no anime.